St. Augustine's, your question. A retailer notices that when he increases the price of his premium shirts by 10%, sales drop by 25%. However, when he increases the price of his basic shirts by the same percentage, sales only drop by 5%. Assuming all other factors remain constant, what explains this difference in consumer behavior? So the first one, a basic shirt have more substitutes. B, premium shirts consume a larger percentage of consumer income. C, basic shirts are more elastic. D, time elapsed since price changed. Larger percentage of consumer income. C, basic shirts are more elastic. D, time elapsed since price changed.
B.
Correct for 3 points. Prempeh College, your question. During a market study, researchers find that when incomes rise by 5%, the demand for product A increases by 25%, while the demand for product B increases by 7.5%. Both products are considered normal goods. If incomes suddenly fall by 5%, which statement is most likely to be true? A, product A demand will fall more than product B. B, product B's demand will fall more than product A. C, both products will experience equal demand reduction. And D, product B's demand will remain stable.
A.
Bonus question. No bonus. Yeah, no bonus for this. Okay. So, St. John's. A food vendor observes the following. When the price is 10 cedis, she sells 20 units. When the price is 8 cedis, she sells 300 units. When the price is 6 cedis, she sells 500 units. Using the elasticity formula for any 2 points, what can we conclude? A, demand is equally elastic at all price points. B, demand becomes more elastic as price decreases. C, demand becomes less elastic as price decreases. D, demand has constant elasticity.
B. B.
Correct for 3 points. Presec. In a free market economy, company XYZ notices that when they increase their products price by 20%, quantity demanded falls by 10%, but their competitors' sales increase by 30%. However, when their competitors increase prices by 20%, XYZ sales only increase by 15%. What does this indicate? A, XYZ's product has more substitutes. B, the competitors' products are more price elastic. C, the competitors' products are perceived as better substitutes for XYZ's products than vice versa. And D, the market has perfect competition.
C.
Correct for 3 points. So, St. Augustine's, a financial analyst at that a multinational corporation is conducting a risk assessment to identify areas where the company's profits could be significantly impacted by external factors. He discovers that fluctuations in the exchange rate and shifts in commodity prices are causing unexpected changes in revenue projections. Additionally, he observes that the corporation's exposure to changes in interest rates across its investment portfolios is impacting its overall valuation. He concludes that this category of risk is the largest for the company as it affects various aspects of financial performance. What type of risk is this analyst primarily describing? A, market risk. B, credit risk. C, operational risk. D, liquidity risk.
A.
That's correct for 3 points. Prempeh College. A commercial bank in Ghana is evaluating the risk associated with lending to local businesses after the financial crisis of 2017 and 2019, which saw many financial institutions default due to non-payment by borrowers. The bank recalls that during that period, several businesses were unable to meet their loan obligations, which led to severe losses for the lenders. To avoid a similar situation in the future, the bank is now considering the use of credit derivatives to hedge this type of risk and protect itself against potential losses. What type of risk is this bank trying to address? 1 or A, market risk. B, settlement risk. C, credit risk. And D, liquidity risk.
C.
That's correct for 3 points. St. John's. An investment manager holds a portfolio of corporate bonds and stocks. But recent events have created uncertainty in the financial markets. The manager is concerned that if a sudden economic downturn were to occur, these assets may not be easily sold without taking a substantial loss. He notices that while under normal circumstances there is sufficient demand for these assets, their true market value might decrease significantly in a crisis, making it challenging to sell them at fair price in a short time frame. What type of risk is the investment manager primarily worried about? A, operational risk. B, liquidity risk. C, credit risk. And D, sovereign risk.
B, liquidity risk.
That's correct for 3 points. Presec. A large manufacturing company suffers a major disruption when a fire in one of its factories forces a temporary shutdown, resulting in delays in product delivery. Shortly after, a software malfunction in their logistics systems prevents them from tracking orders effectively, causing additional setbacks. The company realizes that these incidents, including natural and technical failures, are creating significant financial losses and impacting its overall operational stability. What type of non-physical risk is this company facing? A, sovereign risk. B, regulatory risk. C, operational risk. And D, model risk.
C, operational risk.
That's correct for 3 points. Okay. So, St. Augustine's, your question. Sarah enters into a contract with his elderly aunt, who trusts her completely, to transfer a piece of family land to her. The aunt later feels uncomfortable about the agreement, suspecting that Sarah may have taken advantage of her trust to get a better deal. The aunt argues that she was pressured into the agreement due to Sarah's influence and now seeks to have the contract set aside. What defense might the aunt use to avoid this contract? A. Fraud. B. Undue influence. C. Misrepresentation. And D. Repudiation.
B.
Correct for 3 points. Prempeh College. A construction company enters into an agreement with a real estate developer that requires that developer to follow all necessary safety regulations to protect the environment during construction. However, the developer later discovers that the contract contains a clause allowing for certain environmental shortcuts. The construction company argues that adhering to the safety requirements would be unprofitable, but the developer insists the contract is illegal and should not be enforced. What type of contract defense is the developer likely referring to? A. Public policy. B. Unconscionability. C. Undue influence. And D. Fraud.
A.
That's correct for 3 points. St. John's. A small business owner enters into contract with a large retail corporation. The contract term allows the retail company to make unilateral decisions about product quality and deadlines, and penalties for delays, while giving the small business no option to negotiate or dispute any decision. The small business owner later realized that his agreement is heavily biased and feels trapped by the terms, which seem patently unfair. What type of contract defense might apply to this scenario? A. Unconscionability. B. Misrepresentation. C. Public policy. And D. Non-performance.
A.
That's correct. For 3 points. Presec. David agrees to purchase a second-hand car from an individual who tells him that the car has never been in an accident and is in like new condition. After buying it, David finds evidence that the car has had several repairs for previous accidents. He claims he would have not entered into that contract had he known the true condition of the car, and now wants to rescind the agreement. Which type of defense is David likely using? A. Fraud. Undue influence. C. Misrepresentation. D. Public policy.
A.
That's wrong. St. Augustine. A tech company includes a clause in its employees' contract that restricts former employees from working with direct competitors for 1 year after leaving the company. A former employee argues that this clause is unreasonable and unenforceable. The company, however, insists that the clause is necessary to protect its trade secrets and intellectual property from being shared with competitors. What type of exemption clause is being described here? A. Litigation limiting clause. B. Restrictive covenant. C. Liability limiting clause. D. Implied term modifying clause.
B.
That's correct. For 3 points. Prempeh College. A real estate company contract includes a provision requiring any dispute over property damages to first go through arbitration. However, after a significant agreement arises, one party seeks to bypass arbitration and take the case directly to court. The real estate company argues that the clause in the contract requires all disputes to be resolved outside of court unless arbitration fails. What type of exemption clause does this represent? A. Implied term modifying clause. B. Litigation limiting clause. C. Liability limiting clause. D. Restrictive covenant.
B.
That's correct for 3 points. St. John's. An electronic supplier includes a clause in its contract that reduces its liability for damages. If products are delivered late. When a shipment arrives late, causing significant financial loss to the buyer, the supplier claims that the clause limits their liability in this situation. The buyer contends that such clauses are rarely enforceable in court, particularly when they benefit only one party. Which type of clause is the supplier relying on? A. Implied term modifying clause. B. Restrictive covenant. C. Liability limiting clause. D. Litigation limiting clause.
C.
That's correct for 3 points. Presec. A service contract for online advertising. A service contract for online advertising includes a provision that negates certain consumer protection laws related to refunds. As long as both parties agree to the clause, the service provider argues that this clause is valid because it is an agreed upon modification to statutory provisions, but the customer argues that some consumer rights cannot be waived. What type of clause is the service provider invoking? A. Implied term modifying clause. B. Litigation limiting clause. C. Restrictive covenant, and D. Liability limiting clause.
A.
That's correct for 3 points. Okay. St. Augustine's. A small company is undergoing a major change in its corporate structure, including the authorization of additional shares and amendments to its governing documents. Shareholders express concern about how these changes might impact their rights. What fundamental shareholders' rights are involved in this situation? A. Right to participate in electing board members. B. Right to approve or participate in fundamental corporate changes. C. Right to transfer shares. D. Right to access employee information.
B.
That's correct for 3 points. Prempeh College, a multinational corporation, is preparing its annual report, which will include disclosures on its financial situation, major share ownership, and board member qualifications. The board wishes to ensure that all required disclosures are complete and of high quality. Which governance principle primarily addresses the requirement for such disclosure? A. Disclosure and transparency. B. Rights of stakeholders. C. Institutional investor responsibilities. D. Board responsibilities.
A.
That's correct for 3 points. St. John's Grammar. A publicly listed firm receives complaints from minority shareholders claiming that a recent related party transactions favored controlling shareholders at the expense of the company's interest. The board wants to address this issue to avoid any perception of bias. Which governance measure could the board prioritize to protect minority shareholders? A. Managing related party transactions to minimize conflicts of interest. B. Limiting shareholders' voting rights. C. Providing exclusive information to institutional investors. D. Ensuring controlling shareholders have additional voting power.
C.
That's wrong. Presec. A board is discussing remuneration for its executives and board members to ensure alignment with long-term shareholders' interest. They aim to structure these packages in a way that reflects the company's strategic goals. Which corporate governance function is the board fulfilling in this scenario? A. Treating all shareholders equally. B. Aligning executive remuneration with long-term company interest. C. Monitoring institutional investors. D. Encouraging shareholders' participation.
B.
That's correct for 3 points. So this is the last round. Okay. Okay. So St. Augustine's College. A company operating in multiple jurisdictions wishes to ensure compliance with corporate governance laws across different regions. One of its goals is to provide fair and efficient price discovery, promoting transparency in its financial markets. Which of the following is the primary function of stock markets related to this goal? A. Allowing insider trading when disclosed. B. Providing fair and efficient price discovery. C. Allowing institutions to increase their voting power. D. Limiting cross-border transactions.
B.
That's correct for 3 points. Okay. So, Prempeh College. Global Tech contacted RoboWorks to purchase Mach 5 robots, thinking they were buying the latest model. RoboWorks sold them Mark 5 robots, which was actually their previous year's model. Knowing Global Tech thought they were getting the newer version. This scenario represents what type of mistake? A. Unilateral mistake. B. Common mistake. C. Cross-purpose mistake. D. Mutual mistake.
B.
That's wrong. St. John's. A tobacco company auctioned off company cars, unaware that one particular vehicle had recently received a complete engine replacement that significantly increased its value. This winning bidder refused to pay extra for the new engine. Based on the Adai vs. Pioneer Tobacco Company Limited case, what would be the legal outcome? A. Buyer must pay extra for the engine. B. Contract is void for misrepresentation. C. Contract is void due to fundamental mistake. D. Contract remains valid at auction price.
B. Contract remains valid at auction price.
I'm sorry?
D.
That's wrong. Presec. Bernard's son was wrongfully arrested by police officers working with his creditor. While in custody, Bernard agreed to sell his house at a below market price to clear his debt. Based on the Heyman vs. Kofi case, what would be the legal position? A. The contract is valid but compensation required. B. Contract is voidable at Bernard's option. C. Contract is void due to duress. D. Contract is valid but police officers are liable.
C.
That's correct for 3 points. So that's the end of round 2.
Max TV and Max Radio listeners and viewers, get ready to win big with Mega Cash Lucky Box, the game where you could walk away with instant cash prizes. It's so simple. Just dial *426*8# on all networks now and follow the prompts. It's easy to play. Pick a lucky box and reveal your cash prize. Yes, it's that simple for listeners and viewers of Max TV and Max FM. You can win from 100 to a massive 50,000 Ghana cedis every day. Right here. Don't miss your chance. Charlie, players all over Ghana are winning serious cash now. What are you waiting for? Max Mega Cash Box. Dial *426*8# and win instant cash today. Don't wait. Your chance to win 50,000 Ghana cedis is just a lucky box away. Max Mega Cash is regulated by the NLA on the Characters platform for those 18 years and above only. Terms and conditions apply.
Promotion with buy now pay later. Buy now pay later, the Max buying at the buy, and it's here to stay. This November, upgrade your mobile experience without breaking the bank. Max buy say, but to take a credit back to us here. For Ghana card, voters ID, and our driver license, Ebra. Max Buy, in collaboration with Easy Buy, is giving our customers 20% discount on installment payment this November. Obeje ufona, ubetumi etia ne bosumi bia, ana na watu bia, ana je bia. Me jedini die, me jedi fo ho. Enti na Max Buy this is ba ebe bua jedini bia. Enti shewe ubetia ne kakra, bosumi nsia pe no etie wie. So pay item 850 and one to betia 6 Ghana cedis pet. Debia and now open item P65 and also betia 9 Ghana cedis pet. Debia do it ye. I saw your 20% discount. It is share the abano. Tia 10 Ghana cedis. Debia busuminsia. Number the Techno Spark 30C and Infinite Hot 50i. So okay, yes, say unche mubia. Freyo 0544 019 552. Visit any of our shops as seen on your screen. Max Buy is located nationwide. November way the na Max Buy say Black Friday way. If I saw bia a smartphone 10 Ghana cedis pay. Ubetiani de bia 6 months. No wait here. Buy now pay later. It's here to stay. Remember, it's a happy life with Max Buy.
Midi me fie no any ranch no Emma Cherry Red Maguire Ejapade na me yeri jama on meto
se comment na mama juma ene mo ye
Cherry Red amu sha wo fika senimu Emposasa Australia busia no ton safra wo ba wo mabusia no mo a enya de amoja mu no mo ye busia
mama ko ese miniam ba ma no
uni masanso afisene a Asile say, don't you know yasa? Onye mi je wo menchenti me ha no, me mpasa basa bia be si yentem.
Odwin se de esi echi yentem be ya na.
Ma yakonya no. Fisa won so du mrepe.
Cherry red.
Papa!
You be consider me a tikaneno. Enya dia beja wo biom.
Australia busiano. Ama kwenye msunu busia.
Minim Freddy. Minim Australia busiano. Almost we be range ni mo. Every emra auto dairy phone.
Na so sa kwahia no esesa bibia.
Metumi aye adwuma orange wana. Men 29 Cedric.
Enka we ntru bia.
Panyon, na to hide no. E sheda nya kwanhia. Isansa Freddy na tachi. Na minti na meso ho Boniface no panyon.
Papa wa ifa.
Mr. Panyon, e dey no be. Sika,
Kwanu tu wo.
wo ka wa tu. Ibe se me ko bi.
Mr. Panyo, hey.
Osono ye bushie ye kese na efe. Abushia edikan.
Midiwe itia kani eni isio kani nyina.
Points. So for round 3, we'll have the contestants come and do a presentation. I will shortly introduce the judges, but the points will be cumulative of 5 points out of the 3 judges, which will be 15. So without much ado, introducing the first judge, Grace Quay, who is a senior marketing analyst at Ashfield Investment. Grace, please, let's see you, Grace. Our second judge is Paula Mankwa, who is also a senior investment analyst at Republic Investment. Kofi Dakwa is the executive head of First Finance. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the round begins. Your judges. So, the students or competitors, you have 10 minutes for your presentation.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine placing your hard-earned money into an investment only for it to be shaken overnight. An investment you consider to be very, very safe, only for that investment to be shaken. To many Ghanaians, this is not just a story, but a reality, following the implementation of the Domestic Debt Exchange Program. So you'll be wondering, what's the DDEP? So with the rollout of DDEP, it meant that investors who invested in government securities had a waiver on their returns, and also the maturity period for their investment got extended. So this very afternoon, we are faced with the challenge of our client, Mr. Mensah, who has approached us because he has faced similar ordeal related to the DDEP. But then he has some options available to him. He could diversify his funds by investing in real estate. He could go into commercial farming or even purchasing some assets known as precious metals. But then we need to know the problems facing Mr. Mensah at the moment. So you would realize that Mr. Mensah has lost trust in the financial system. So he has lost that trust he had in the financial system due to the rollout of this implementation program, because he has lost most of his funds and now he doesn't trust the government in honoring its obligations. And also, Mr. Mensah does not have the adequate knowledge as related to commercial farming. So we are here to help him to address these issues. But then, to address these issues better, we need to understand the market with which he operates. So analyzing the market, from the graph, you realize that there has been a steady depreciation in the cedi, which is our local currency. So moving from 10.2 in 2022 to 16.10 in 2024, it poses a risk known as the inflation risk to Mr. Mensah, that should, in case he go in for an investment, probably real estate or anything, he might lose the worth of his investment. And you also note that real estate investments are gaining some popularity in major cities like Accra and Kumasi. And another thing you realize from the market is this: the government is putting in measures to ensure that commercial farming takes a hit in the economy. So by promoting policies like the one district, one warehouse, one district, one factory, you would understand that the government is just taking and putting in measures to ensure that commercial farming is at its peak. But then, you look at the diagram and you see a coin over there. You might be wondering, what coin is that? That is the new Ghana Gold coin, an investment scheme piloted by the Bank of Ghana through the commercial banks. And this is a form of investment. When it comes in a case and you just have your secured investment. But then we need to analyze the financial market of this particular issue. So we need to take on the financial analysis.
Okay, so our financial analysis today is focused on helping Mr. Mensah rebuild his financial portfolio. That's investing his 500,000 Ghana cedis from the proceeds of his sale of his previous business into various investment options for a period of 10 to 50 years, as well as his goal to maintain a desired contingency fund. So now, join me as we dive into these investment options, analyzing those options that align with Mr. Mensah's needs, risk tolerance levels, as well as his goal to secure his family's future finances. So to begin with, he has the option of real estate. The real estate provides a rate of return ranging from 5% to 10%. The real estate deals with the purchase and sale of fixed assets. So the potential returns is based on the increase in value of this asset, also known as the capital appreciation. Each risk here is considered moderate, since it normally depends on the property type and the location. Furthermore, he has the option of commercial farming. This will provide him with steady returns on investment, since he would like to venture into cash crops products such as cocoa and cashew. The risk here is also considered moderate, since Ghana as a country depends solely on the rain-fed agricultural system for farming. Risks associated with this form of investment is as a result of a failure in combined harvesters used in farming, also known as operation risk, and also they're so dependent on rain-fed agriculture. Finally, he has the option to invest in alternative assets such as precious metals and foreign currencies. So with the foreign currencies, even though this will help in hedging inflation risks, however, this will lead to a depreciation in the local currency, which is the cedi, since more Ghanaians are now trying to invest more in the dollar as a foreign currency. So from our analysis, we deduce various investment alternatives available to Mr. Mensah, which are:
first of all, investing in real estate. So basically, investing in real estate provides stability, that is moderate growth, and its stable rate of returns makes it beneficial. However, its liability is very limited because it mostly takes time to sell off these properties. Also, as it said earlier, its profitability mostly depends on the location. So if you engage in real estate investment in probably an unfavorable place, you recover losses. And the second option is agricultural investment. So agricultural investment provides steady income, especially on a daily or monthly basis. Fortunately, it can provide a contingency fund, since Mr. Kwame will be able to retain some for his emergency needs. However, its profitability depends on the market price, because if there's a fall in the market prices, the amount of income he might expect won't meet it. And also, it also suffers weather conditions, as they stated earlier, may affect this form of investment, because in Ghana, we mostly depend on rain-fed agriculture. So in instances like a consistent dry season, post-harvest losses are meant to occur. And the final option, which is investing in precious metals, specifically gold. So investing in precious metals, it has a form of resistance to risk, specifically inflation risk. However, accessibility to this form of investment is very difficult, since it's mostly found in remote areas, or sometimes the fees and prices don't mostly help it. So from what we said so far, what are the solutions we recommend? So we recommend that Mr. Mensah uses a diversified portfolio of 50% on real estate, 30% on agricultural investment, and 20% on precious metals, specifically gold. This is because for real estate, it will help him generate wealth in the long-term process, especially since he's putting in the investment for 10 to 15 years. For the agricultural investment, it will provide steady income on a daily or monthly basis. Also, it will satisfy his needs to keep some of the money for emergencies. And for the precious metals, or the specifically gold, as we mentioned, it will reduce the form of risk, since it is known to be resistant to all forms of risk. In relating to Mr. Kwame's issue, it will not only create a balance of income, growth, and stability, but align with his low risk profile, since he will do all this whilst minimizing risk. Also, it also help him to create an investment, long-term investment goals, especially spreading his wealth to his children. Though this is a diversified portfolio, we help them develop strategies to implement this solution. First of which, we'll deal with real estate. So in real estate, that is where we will purchase property in high demand urban areas, because normally high demand equals higher returns. And we can try this in cities like Accra, Tema, or Kumasi. After which, that's where we will engage in agricultural investment, starting with the production of crops with commercial value. For instance, cassava, cashew, or palm oil. After which, we learn that he has limited experience on farming. So that is why we will help him to hire an extension officer to check what goes on in this process. After which, we will engage investing in precious metals or gold. So he might try the Bank of Ghana gold coin, which was just issued and is now for sale. We'll buy it from the central bank through the nearby commercial banks. So after implementing these three strategies, that is where we'll monitor what goes on in the investment through we, the advisors, and the extension officer we hired, so we can check progress and also prevent any potential losses. Though this portfolio is diversified, which, yes, you all know, it probably minimizes risk. However, it will still suffer some form of risk. Real estate specifically can suffer low returns if the location has very low demand. Operational risks tend to affect agriculture, because, for instance, a failure in An inadequate farm equipment or inadequate storage facilities can create post-harvest losses. So how do we see? Thank you. Almost.
Yeah. Hello, Augusto. How are you?
We are fine.
Yes. That's a nice presentation. I like the way you guys connected throughout the presentation. It's very fine. I have only one question, or let's say two. There was a point you talked about buying foreign currency as a hedge. If you get me right, or if I may sound right. In the initial stage, you proposed buying foreign currency. So I wanted to know if now you would advise Mr. Mensah to buy dollar now. If that is a solution that you want to give, will you advise him to buy dollar now? And the second question is, all your solutions are centered to medium to long term. The long term investments, or let's say medium to long term satisfaction. What if Mr. Mensah is someone who also wants short term liquidity, or let's say he wants an investment that will give him short term satisfaction? What solution do you have? Thank you.
So, sir, thank you very much for the question. So, with as regard the foreign currency, it will be advisable to probably buy the dollar right now. But then you need to look at the effect it could have on the general portfolio of Mr. Mensah. But it would be advisable to buy the dollar, considering the exchange rate differences. But then you need to check to make sure that it doesn't have an impact on the overall economy. And as regards his liquidity, as specified in the general information given to us, he is someone who wants returns in medium to long term run. So that means we cannot recommend short term investment goals for him. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. So on behalf of Prempeh Investment Advisory Team, I am Andrew Asari. So let's take you back to 20 years ago, when a young entrepreneur was faced with a pivotal decision in his investment career. So he had to, after co-founding and growing PayPal, he had to sell PayPal to eBay in order to reinvest in his bigger dreams, Tesla, SpaceX, and for the social media enthusiasts, X, formerly Twitter. Now, similar to this bold decision of his, has made him one of the most successful entrepreneurs in our world today. I hope you got that right. Elon Musk. Similar to Elon Musk, we have Mr. Kwame Mensah, whom I affectionately call KM. A businessman recently faced with financial difficulties in Ghana's domestic debt exchange program, and that he has lost many investment options and has sold his company for 500,000 cedis, and he decides to seek safer investment options. And so, due to its low to moderate risk tolerance, we propose a balanced portfolio with consideration given to real estate development, commercial agriculture, and investment in precious assets. So I introduce my colleague to continue in KM's.
Okay, so to continue from where my colleague left off from, after analyzing KM's case, we realized that he was facing 3 core issues. The first problem he was facing was that he had lost trust in the Ghanaian financial market and the business environment. This is due to the domestic debt exchange program. For those of you who don't understand what that is, it is a process where government restructures its debt by exchanging old securities for new one at a lower rate, and usually to reduce the interest you're supposed to pay on it. For the second problem has got to do with the type of environment he finds himself in. We all know that Ghana's financial market currently is not as good as it used to be. Things keep on getting worse. So the second problem we identified from his presentation was from his case was the problem with the financial market. And the last problem we identified was the lack of experience he had in the new investment options he wanted to try. He wanted to invest in real estate, agricultural venture, and also some commodities, but he had limited knowledge about it. So for our market analysis, as you can see on the screen, we considered the 3 investment options. For real estate, a report by Statistica.com showed that the real estate market from 2024 to 2029 is expected to grow by 3.83%. That is the annual growth rate that is expected to grow by. And we also did same for the agricultural venture. And for the agricultural venture, we also considered a report by modelintelligence.com, which showed that the CAGR, which is the compounded annual growth rate of the agricultural venture, is expected to grow by 2.64%, meaning that if he chooses that as part of his portfolio, it won't be a bad investment option. For the last one, which is the precious metals or foreign currencies, since they are mostly used as hedge against inflation, we consider the current inflation or the inflation in Ghana from the period of 2020 to 2024. And for the financial analysis, we did some calculations. So first of all, we calculated since he's investing 50%, we will suggest that he invests 50% of his capital into real estate. So because of that, we are expecting an annual rental yield between 5 to 8%, and that is not bad. For the agricultural venture, we are also considering an annual return on investment between 10 to 15%, as the slides show. And for the precious currencies, we are expecting a growth by between 5 to 8%. For the alternative solutions, we considered 3 major things. The first one we considered was the real estate. The real estate, some of the advantages are they are tangible assets, they have prosperity for appreciation, and also it has various streams of cash flow, including rental income and increase in interest rate. For the disadvantages, it is very illiquid, meaning it becomes very difficult to sell it to get cash. And also the natural disaster. For the commercial farming, it is possible that he will generate very high profit, and also there is government support there. So that's something we will also consider for him. And the disadvantage is the initial cost of starting and the operation cost of the business is so high. And for the third option, we are looking at precious metals or the foreign currencies. The reason why we chose this is because for the advantage is because it serves as a hedge against investment and also currency risk. And for the disadvantage, they offer no dividends, and there is a possibility that what might be sold to him might be counterfeit. For the recommended solution, we we structured a balanced portfolio for him, which consisted of 50% of his investment being invested in real estate, 30% in the agriculture, and 20% in the foreign market or precious materials. The reason why we chose the real estate, 50% in real estate, is because when he came to us, he made us aware that he wants an investment that he can pass on to the generations after him. And real estate is a legacy asset, meaning it can be passed on from one generation to another. It also serves as a hedge against investments. It provides regular stream of cash flow. So with this investment option, he receives regular streams of cash flow in the form of either rental income or interest, or it can be even in the form of capital gains. That is, he can sell the property and realize the capital gains. For the 30% in stock, for the 30% in agriculture, the reason why we considered that for him is because he likes farming and it also serves as a legacy asset. And we considered the precious metals or foreign exchange because of his hedge against inflation. I earlier said that Ghana's economic condition is not the best. So providing this investment option for him gives him the ability, or it protects him from the current economic conditions in Ghana, such as the inflation and the currency rate risk. For the implementation plan, first of all, with the real estate, he can do his research, a very thorough research, and first, after he's done, he can contact anyone, then he purchases the property, then he starts, after owning it, he can rent it to people and he'll start earning rental income. This is expected to take a period of 3 to 6 months. For the other investment option, which is the farming, we are advising for him to go into partnership with someone, because a popular quote said it is better to own 50% in a 1 million company than owning 100% of a 10,000 Ghana cedis company. So we are advising him to go into partnership. Then for the alternative investment, that is, if for the gold, he can go and trade it on the commodity exchange. Commodity exchange is used to trade securities of that sort. And a stable investment, we are looking at this having an investment time frame of 1 month. And the management, for the last one, he also has the ability, or he gets management, he can hire a farm manager to manage it for him. For the risk management, we have inflation risk, currency or devaluation risk. We also have the liquidity risk and the market risk. For the ways of mitigating this risk, the inflation risk can be mitigated by including the precious metals or other investment options, such as the currency exchange, which serves as a bulletproof against inflation, just as we talked about earlier. And for the liquidity risk, he can also deal with this liquidity risk by also including the precious metals or foreign currencies in his investment. For the last one, which is for the other risk management technique, we are also looking at regulatory changes. So he has to stay up to date on what is happening in the market so that the regulatory changes doesn't affect him. For our conclusion, we did this research and we proposed this type of investment option to Mr. KM because, first of all, he suggested for an investment which he can pass on to the next generation. He also suggested for an investment which gives him a stream or a regular streamline of income. He also wanted one that he can own for a period of 10 to 15 years. And he also had the objective of building his own business or something that can make his name last on for a longer period. So it is in view of these considerations and these factors that we chose the 50-30-20 principle that we talked about for Mr. KM, so that he can achieve his goals. Thank you.
Okay, Prempeh, that was good. One of the things I wanted to ask is, when making for a bulk figure of $500,000, distributing it that in those amounts, one of the things you would find is that you don't get real value in it. So you are looking at building a legacy, because I hear legacy. How are you going to advise him so that you're able to build real value for him? Because for $500,000, real estate that $500,000 will not even be able to build, let's say, a house. So one of the things you always need to look at is how do you build that investment value for your client so that the client becomes happy with what you are doing.
So for this, that's why we introduce some investments looking at the current economic conditions. We cannot suggest other securities like bonds, stocks, and treasury bills to him because it doesn't favor the market. At the moment, with what's happening in his economic environment, those are the best options for him because real estate, for example, inflation keeps on increasing. So if inflation keeps on increasing, the last time that it reached the maximum of 52.1, we know that when inflation increases, real estate, the price of real estate also increases by almost the same percent. So if Mr. Mensah is getting that 52% increase in the price of his security as a result of including such inflation-protected securities in his investment, then I believe that's the best option we can go for him as compared to the other ones.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Oswansa Christopher, and I'm from Grammys Advisory Solutions. Today, I am here to take you on a roller coaster of knowledge through advanced investment. It's about my client, and he's called Mr. Kwame Mensah. Mr. Kwame Mensah is a 48-year-old man, and then this 48-year-old man has lost his money significantly from investing in Ghanaian securities because of the DDEP, that is the Domestic Debt Exchange Program. As we all like to say, the legendary haircut, right? So now Mr. Mensah wants an investment that is not really focused on government securities. So we consider his characteristics. He wants an investment that is long-term, offers low to moderate risk, and then can appreciate in a span of 10 to 15 years. So upon our conversations with Mr. Mensah, we found out that he has three preferences. Number one being real estate, number two being into farming, and number three being into currencies and precious metals. So with this, before I begin, I'll be talking about four things with Mr. Mensah. The first one being to make a balanced portfolio for Mr. Mensah. The second one being to outline all the risks with Mr. Mensah's portfolio and how to mitigate all the risks. The third one being the fact that Mr. Mensah has no experience in farming and real estate, so we should provide investments that will cater for that need. And the fourth one being to create a succession plan for Mr. Mensah's children. Okay, so with all these three preferences of Mr. Mensah, we identified three problems. With the first one, which is real estate, we identified a problem that real estate, the yields really depend on the location, right? And then with the farming too, the crops can be infested by pests too. And then with the commodities, they do not really have potential to offer gains because they don't even pay dividends at all. So yes, these are the three problems we identified. So we conducted a market analysis on all the three preferences. So with the real estate, we suggested to Mr. Boateng a joint venture. A joint venture in a scenario is when Mr. Mensah will locate a property owner or somebody from real estate who has already a land or a building but is not finished with a building. So Mr. Mensah will use some of his funds to finish the building, and the building will be for Mr. Mensah for a period of time. So all the rents that will be received will be going into the pocket of Mr. Mensah, and you'll be getting money. Okay, so the second one is also farming. We considered shared farming with lease. So Mr. Mensah will use part of his money to get or acquire a farmland, and that with that farmland, Mr. Mensah is going to employ experienced farmers to come and operate on the farm, and since he has no knowledge about farming, they'll come and operate on the farm. We have something in Chi called Yema Yenche. That is the whole idea. So experienced farmers will come and work on the land, and then the land will grow, and as their time elapses, the farm will be for Mr. Mensah. And then with the commodities, we considered gold, since it is very, very stable. It is stable because gold is traditionally an instrument that is used to hedge against inflation. Yes, so we conducted a market analysis on all of this. Market analysis, please. Market analysis is going to focus on the value appreciation of Mr. Mensah's portfolio. So with real estate, Mr. Mensah's total money is 500,000. So with real estate, we allocated 200,000 Ghana cedis into real estate. For a period of 1 year, that money is going to yield 24,000 Ghana cedis if he rents one commercial or residential building for just 2,000. And then since we considered inflation, the time value of money is also important. So in the next 15 years, the money that in the next 15 years, Mr. Mensah's real estate is going to appreciate and grow by 480,000 Ghana cedis. That is more than 200% returns on his initial investment. And so the farming too, we considered allocating 200,000 Ghana cedis into the farming venture. So the 200,000 Ghana cedis, at the end of each year, he's going to get just about 6,000 Ghana cedis. So with that 6,000 Ghana cedis, we consider inflation and the time value of money. By 15 years, he's getting 360,000 Ghana cedis. We also considered gold, Gold, the price of gold right now is 43,313 Ghana cedis. So he can acquire 2 ounces of gold. With that, let's just say it's 90,000 Ghana cedis. By the end of the 15 years, and let's say gold is not affected by inflation and inflation remains constant, Mr. Mensah is going to retain all the 90,000 Ghana cedis he invested. We considered liquidity, and so we invested in cash and cash equivalent. With that one, we considered investing it in a current account with annual returns of 5%. So with that 5%, at the end of the year, Mr. Mensah is hoping to get 104,000 Ghana cedis. So at the end of the whole 15 years, it is projected that Mr. Mensah is getting yields, that is his portfolio yields, that is above 200%. We are looking at 207%. That is roughly 1,034,000 Ghana cedis. Okay, so yes. We also looked at alternatives to all the preferences of Mr. Boasen. The first one being foreign investments, and the second one being commodity like oil and gas. Foreign investment because they are not going to be affected by currency country-specific risk, such as the DDEP, right? And commodities like oil and gas because they are commodities like gold, so they can also offer stability. So our recommended solutions. We recommended a diversified portfolio of stocks, so we have already done that. A diversified portfolio that entails real estate, farming, also entails commodities such as gold, and then liquidity, right? So with the percentages, you can keep 4 numbers in your head. The first one being 40, second being 30, third being 10, and the last one being 18. So with the 40% goes into real estate, 30% goes into farming, 10% goes into liquidity, and the 18% goes into gold. Yes. So our implementation plan, since Mr. Mensah wants to pass his investments to his children, like a succession, we agree that Mr. Mensah has to find a property owner so that he can start the joint venture. And after that, he goes and buys a farmland so he can start the share farming with lease. Then after that, he accumulates all the money that he got from the real estate and then reinvest it into the farming so that it becomes big. So after all of this, he can either decide to, in a form of a will, give the whole farm to his children so that it will belong to his children. Okay. So yes, we also identified 5 risks with this portfolio. The first one being operational risk, the second one being liquidity risk, the third risk being pest action, and the fourth one being inflation risk and currency risk. So how do we mitigate this? With the operational risk, since he has no idea about farming and real estate, we are going to hire people to come and work on the farm. So it's not his knowledge that he's going to use, right? With the liquidity risk too, he's not the one going to sell the building or the real estate because he's going into a venture capital. So the owner of that building will rather have to worry about the liquidity risk. And then with the pest action, he can also consider insurance, pest insurance, so that it will cover for the crops that were lost. And then with the inflation and currency risk, we considered investments avenues such as gold and then real estate, because traditionally they are known to hedge against inflation. And now, our conclusion. Number one, we have been able to provide a well-diversified portfolio containing real estate, farming, a commodity, and also offers liquidity. So check. Number two, we have been able to identify the risk and how to mitigate all those risks. Number three, we have been able to outline a way that Mr. Mensah can use as a succession plan for his children. And then number four, Mr. Boateng's money has also been appreciated. So, if there is somebody here who has 500,000 Ghana cedis today and shares in the experiences of Mr. Boateng, you can consider all what we have listed above here today, and then it will help you because you too can receive 1 million Ghana cedis and 34,000. Thank you.
That was a good presentation. Well done.
Thank you, ma'am.
From the financial analysis, specifically with the asset allocation,
yes, ma'am,
I didn't see any alternative investment in there because you went straight forward to give 4 different assets, right, and allocated the percentages. But then you also gave a recommendation that he can do an alternative investment, which is the foreign and then the oil and gas or whatever. So what role is that alternative playing in your financial analysis?
Okay, so first of all, with the alternatives, there are other avenues that Mr. Mensah can consider investing in if he finds that whatever we are advising him is not right for him. But we also know, as we listed, by Mr. Mensah's objectives or his characteristics, he wants something long-term, and we have already provided for him in the 3 preferences that he liked. So something long-term, something that is low to medium risk, and then also something that is low to medium risk and something that can appreciate in a space of 10 to 15 years. With foreign investment could deal in stocks, bonds, or foreign markets, and those ones are considered as short-term. They are not long-term. That's why we didn't consider that, but we regarded them as alternatives. Thank you.
A very warm afternoon salutation to all and sundry. Standing on all existing protocols, I go by the name Kelvin Uforiata, and I'm here with my investment objectives from the Presbyterian Boys Secondary School, and we are here to explore an enthralling case of one Mr. Mensah. Now, the case describes the scenario of Mr. Mensah, one Ghanaian businessman who was unfortunate and incurred significant financial losses in the Ghanaian investment space due to the domestic debt exchange program and certain haircuts that affected investment. However, Mr. Mensah is persevering. He has been able to amass a capital of 500,000 Ghana cedis as a result of the sale of his business, and he's considering investing it in options such as real estate, investment in agriculture and commercial farming, as well as investing his money in certain hard assets such as precious metals, gold, many more. Pertaining to his particulars, Mr. Mensah has a long-term investment objective of wealth preservation. Mr. Mensah has an estimate of an investment time horizon of 10 to 15 years and a very modest risk profile. Thus, we are tasked with the obligation of creating and designing a portfolio that matches eye to eye with Mr. Mensah's long-term investment goals. But before we can solve a solution or crack a case, we first have to identify the problems involved. We came up per analysis with 2 problems that were plaguing Mr. Mensah. One of them is the indecision. Mr. Mensah is aware of the existence of so many investment options in the market. However, he is unable to decipher the differences and be able to choose an investment option that is relating to his investment objectives due to his lack of expertise, skills, and knowledge. Subsequently, Mr. Mensah has the objective of wanting his children to succeed him after his death. But Mr. Mensah does not know how to devise a clear strategy and plan. That is the problem we have identified as the inadequate succession plan. Before we can solve the case, we have to analyze some marketing strategies and trends in the market. Explore with us as we go through the marketing analysis.
Thank you very much. So, based on our previous history, we have taken our time to make a market assessment of the trends over the past few years. And we made mention of the inflation rates, interest rates, and the GDP growth. Now, Mr. Mensah here has made 3 investment choices. That is real estate, agricultural ventures, and precious metals or foreign currencies. Now, in this case, we all know that with real estate, agricultural ventures, and precious metals and foreign currency, they occupy a vast range or portion of the market, with the highest being 10 billion Ghana cedis, coming down to 2 billion Ghana cedis respectively. So these options have greater growth potential as compared to other investment options, because with real estate, the higher the inflation, they just increase the price of rentals, which people are bound to pay as a result of the increase in population. And with agricultural ventures, we all know that even though there may be fluctuations due to weather, then in the long run, it is still helpful and will give you a secured flow of income. Now, for precious metals and foreign currencies, we know that the Ghana cedi has been depreciation, but there has been a true appreciation in the foreign currency. So making investments in such ventures would be quite profitable and hedge against inflation. Now, moving on to the financial analysis of these investment options, I'll call upon my colleague. Thank you.
Thank you. Esteemed panel of judges, ladies and gentlemen, did you know that the real estate investment trust outperformed the S&P 500 by more than 20% in the past 5 years? Okay, so let's look at some financial analysis. So our team decided to use 3 key financial metrics, which are return on investment, internal rate of return, and net present value. So for return on investment, it's basically the ratio of return to amount invested, found and calculated on a percentage basis. For internal rate of return, it's basically finding the rate of return after all projected cash flows and time value of money has been catered for. Last but not least, net present value of money. For the net present value of money, it's just the difference between the present inflows, present cash inflows, and present cash outflows. So now, when you study these figures on the table, you realize that real estate investment trusts offer high return on investment and high internal rate of returns. That's making them so profitable. Also, the other 2 ventures, which are the agricultural venture and investing in hard assets, also provide steady returns. Now, after seeing the market analysis and financial analysis, let's do some alternative solutions where we delve deeper into the advantages and disadvantages of these investment options. So first of all, for the real estate investment trust, we have, since they are collection of funds to invest in diverse properties such as commercial and residential properties, they offer diversification benefits. Also, they bring about regular income streams through rental yields, and they offer liquidity. Their disadvantages are just the paying of fees and expenses to professional fund managers and market volatilities. Now, for the agricultural venture, we have the advantages to be a potential for high returns and diversification, and their disadvantages being market volatilities, weather risk as a result of overdependence on the rainfall, and crop diseases. Now, for investing in the hard assets, we have the pros to be liquidity and hedging against inflation together with currency risk, and the disadvantage being market volatilities, which is the fluctuation in prices. Now, after seeing these advantages and disadvantages, what do we recommend for Mr. Mensah? We recommend a diversified portfolio. That is 40% in real estate investment trust, 30% in agricultural venture, and lastly, the 30% in the hard assets. Why 40% in the real estate investment trust? This is because of the regular streams of income they provide and the active management. Also, for 30% in the agri venture, this as a result of their potential for huge returns. And lastly, we included the investment in hard assets as we included it because it serves as a hedge against inflation and currency risk. Thank you.
Okay. So with that being said, we are not decided on a diversified portfolio of all the 3 investment vehicles. But the thing is, how is he even supposed to do it? Because he cannot just jump into the investment market without knowing anything. So that's what brings us to something called the IIP, which is the Investment Implementation Plan. So first of all, planning and research. I will actually link the implementation plan to farming, because I think that farming actually relates to this. Because if you are going to farm and you are a farmer, certainly without knowing anything about the land or without knowing anything about what you want to farm, how are you supposed to do it? You cannot just buy seed and start farming. You're supposed to check whether the soil is fertile. You're supposed to check whether the seeds are viable. That's what relates to the planning and research. You're supposed to know the market trends, which companies are offering all these vehicles, and which one is best for inefficiencies and stuff. And then it comes to investment execution. Now you know. Maybe I want to invest in this company. It's foreign REITs, real estate investment trust. I want to invest in them, but then how do you do it? Now they would did the 40% in REITs and the 30% in commercial ventures and also 30% in the hard assets. So then after that is done, yes, you are getting returns. Your current returns are increasing. But then you're not supposed to sit idle and just be there, okay? Because you have to be a man of your own garden. You're supposed to what? You're supposed to regularly revise and review them. Because trust me, the investment market is really volatile. It's going up and down. It's fluctuating every single day. So without adequate knowledge on what is happening, surely you are going to raise your returns, because we do not want Mr. Mensa to get your returns down, because we want the best for him. Then it comes to the risks. It's a diversified portfolio, so the risks will be minimal. But that doesn't mean that the risks wouldn't be there. It will definitely be there. So then in identifying this, we got 3 key risks, which is the currency risks, inflation risks, and the commodity risks. So with the currency risk, there's depreciation. We are going to invest in commodities and hard assets, and certainly there are companies outside who are also investing in this, and maybe Mr. Mensa might want to invest in them. But then the depreciation of the currency is going to affect its overall investment returns. And then it comes to inflation rates, increase in the general prices of goods and services, which means the disposable income is going to reduce. Its overall value of investment is also going to reduce, which is going to reduce its entire portfolio, if not taken care. And then we have the commodity risks. Volatilities in prices of commodities is going up, is going down. Without regular check, what is going to happen? Individuals not even to induce to buy from these companies, and because of that, these portfolio returns are going to reduce. But then, if they are risks, then surely there's supposed to be a solution. And investment, what we call those the risk mitigation, the risk mitigation, the risk management rules, and then we have diversification and asset allocation. As you proposed, 40% in REITs, 30% in commercial ventures, and 30% in the hard assets. Okay, so just per chance, maybe a sector isn't doing well, the other will cater for the other will cater for the other, which is not doing well, so that the returns will be guaranteed. And then we have active management and regular review. You're supposed to regularly review what is going on, what is happening, so that you will know exactly what you're supposed to do. And then we have the commodity hedging, like substances like commodity options and futures, so that the prices of goods and services, if even inflated, is not going to affect him that much. So then in concluding, there's one key factor, which is the succession planning, to move or bequeath the benefit of all his investment to his children in the long run after he passed on. And then we advise him to get a trust. Okay, a trust, so that in case of him passing on, the portfolio manager is going to handle all these investment vehicles on behalf of his children. So then all his key objectives have been gone. Long term is the trust, succession planning, everything has been supplied by us. And we are giving to him this advice because we know it's the best that he's going to get from anyone. So we are the Presec Investment Advisory International. And we thank you very much for lovely audience to giving us.
Go for your question.
Yeah, that was very a quick one. I could see you were rushing because of time, and that's cool. You need to beat time to make money. At a point, I think in the initial stage, you made mention of hard assets being liquid. When you were providing the solutions, you said it at your level, like where you presented. You said hard assets. You wrote liquidity. That's that advantage. That means it's easily convertible to cash. So, like, how do you do that? How do you explain that to us? The liquidity of hard assets. How is it liquid? Okay, let me put the question like this. How is hard asset liquid?
Okay, so hard assets are always in high demand and in high supply on the market. People people are always people are always willing to buy and sell these assets, no matter the price. In addition, the large number of investors constantly trading on hard asset platforms such as Xness, Pocket Option, and others make this option incredibly liquid for all investors concerned. Thank you.
Okay, please, just a quick one. Give me an example of hard assets. Gold. Thank you.
You're waiting for the scores from the judges.
No, so go and get the details. Ogasco.
Okay, St. Augustine's College wants to make a substitution. So can we have... Oh, you can do better. Let's clap. St. Augustine's College.
You go take your name.
Oh, you can do better.
Once in a while, we all need a helping hand to make your best dishes taste even more delicious. Unga Mama's Helping Hand. This advert is FDA approved. You can't tell what your baby will become or what his interests will be. But you can help her get a strong start with good nutrition. Yum Vita, made with the goodness of milk, plus Nutri-V, is a delicious, nutrient-rich cereal for your baby. Oh yeah, older ones love it too. Give your baby good nutrition for a strong start. Yum Vita is available in other yummy variants. Yum Vita, a delicious way to grow. This advert is FDA approved.
Me pa chow shiton wa wode card okro ho breye no yeton wo hene.
Wo ma me shito.
Shito na na ni duru so de pa wo se friend say wo ma me shito.
Anne, shito ni denti o man for oba event ya se bisasa.
Natural say parties, funeral ceremonies, wedding ase.
Wo ma me shito no a.
Me pe bia to akoma me wife ofie ni me ma na omo SHS ni university no.
Wo ma me shito no a. Hey, students no pe papa.
Na se de omo si aye no sachet nkuma ye wo pe ba ko odudu obi akora betimi ato akoma o na fufu obi de students no be pe pa.
Ana amano ne fon so pe wo ma me shito pa.
Wache jollof rice kenke ene wo ma me shito na wo aye kolabo.
Hey, say we ni ka papa.
Shito no boss pa.
Your 40-gram sachets and a 25 sachets. I was Ziploc bag. I drew 1 liter. Hot and mild sauce. Press 0246 771 464 and 0547 586 971.
Ma me shito wo ni kura obedi.
FDA agi ejodi enkrato yato.
A wide range of care products to reveal the beauty of your skin. With the skincare oil, the beauty soap, the moisturizing cream, and an extra moisturizing body lotion for your comfort. Thanks to the active organic plant ingredients, the multivitamins, and the action of the White Up formula, Dodo products give you a beautiful unified skin tone. Your skin is beautiful and softer. Dodo, the skincare products to reveal your skin's beauty.
Prempeh College. Higher interest rates. Higher interest rates help control inflation while simultaneously depreciating the currency, making imports more expensive. True or false? That's wrong. It's false. St. John's Grammar. When the central bank increases interest rates, the overall effect on the banking sector is positive because banks earn more on loans and become more willing to lend. Is it true or false? That's correct for 3 points. Presec. If the government wants to reduce its borrowing cost and boost economic growth, it can achieve both by supporting a decrease in interest rates. Is this true or false? That's correct for 3 points. St. Augustine's. Two goods can have positive cross elasticity in the short term, but negative cross elasticity in the long term. A true consumer behavior and substitution pattern can differ between short term and long term. Is this true or false?
False.
It's true. Prempeh College. A monopolist that sells its products in two different markets, when demand elasticity differs, will maximize profits by charging the same price in both markets. Is it true or false? That's correct for 3 points. St. John's. A demand curve can be perfectly inelastic for some price ranges and elastic for others. Presec. In an oligopoly market, if all firms have exactly equal market share, they are less likely to engage in price competition than if shares are uneven. Is it true or false?
True.
That's correct for 3 points. St. Augustine's College, this is your question. If the price is below the equilibrium level, there is excess demand leading to a shortage. Is this true or false?
True.
It's false. Prempeh College. A perfectly inelastic demand curve indicates that the quantity demanded changes by an infinitely large percentage in response to a small price change. True or false?
False.
That's correct for 3 points. St. John's Grammar. Cross elasticity during the expansion phase of the business cycle, unemployment typically reaches its highest level. Is this true or false? It's false. Prempeh College. A recession begins in the contraction phase. A recession begins in a contraction phase when GDP growth turns negative, and it often leads to increased unemployment and a decline in the stock market values. Is this true or false?
True.
That's correct for 3 points. St. John's. The peak phase in a business cycle is when the economy has hit its lowest point before beginning to expand again. Is this true or false?
That is false.
That's correct for 3 points. Presec. Presec, this is your question. Increased numbers of bankruptcies and rising customer debt are typical characteristics of a trough phase. Is this true or false?
A true statement.
That's correct for 3 points. St. Augustine's College. A special resolution requires a simple majority of votes to be passed. Is this true or false?
False.
That's correct for 3 points. Prempeh College. 2 points, sorry, 2 points. Prempeh College. Members can recover compensation from directors for misrepresentation only if it was fraudulent. Is this true or false?
True.
That's false. St. John's. A member is entitled to appoint another person as a proxy, even if that person is not a member of the company. Is this true or false?
True.
That's correct for 3 points. Presec. Members are liable. Members are liable for company debts if the company is winding up within 1 year of them ceasing to be members. Is this true or false?
True.
That's correct for 3 points. Hey, 2 points. Okay. So this is the last set for this round. So this is the last set for this round. You also answer true or false. The Bank of Ghana primary monetary policy objective is to support the government's economic growth and employment goals, with price stability as a secondary consideration. Is this true or false?
False.
That's correct for 2 points. Prempeh College. Narrow money supply includes only currency in circulation, while broad money supply also includes other bank deposits. Is this true or false?
True.
That's correct. St. John's. An expansionary monetary policy will always lead to a decrease in interest rates and an increase in share price. Is this true or false?
That is true.
That's correct. Presec. Fiscal policy decisions made by the government can have unintended consequences that exacerbate economic cycles. Is this true or false?
True.
That's correct. And that's the end for this round.
Okay, St. Augustine's. Thank you very much, St. Augustine. Thank you, St. Augustine's College. Thank you very much.
So how are you feeling, contestants? St. Augustine's, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling fine.
You're good? Any nerves? Prempeh College. Positive. I like that. St. John's, how are you feeling?
Everything has been normal.
Fantastic. And Presec, any nerves?
Feeling wonderful.
Great. Okay. So at the end of round 4, at the end of round 4, Prempeh College, 43 points. St. Augustine's College, 44.9 points. St. John's Grammar, 49.8 points. And Presbyterian Boys Presec, 53.9. And now the last round. I'm going to give 6 riddles. And when I read out the riddle, the first to press the bell gets to answer it. And when you answer at the first clue, it's 5 points. Second clue, 4 points. And the rest of the clue, 3 points. Now, can I have St. Augustine's test their bell? Prempeh College. St. John's. And Presec. Now, the riddle. First riddle. I was introduced by Jack Trenor. St. John's.
Trenor's ratio or the Trenor's performance index.
So I will continue my riddle. And John Littner building on the earlier one. St. Augustine.
The risk adjusted return on invested capital.
I'll continue my riddle. On the earlier work of Harry McWoods and diversification and modern portfolio theory, I assume a particular form of utility function in which only first and second moments matter. That is a risk. It's measured by variance. For example, quadratic utility, or alternatively, asset returns, whose probability distributions are completely described by these first 2 moments. Under this condition, I show that the cost of equity capital is determined only by beta. I am a model used to determine a theoretical appropriate required rate of return of an asset to make decisions about adding assets to a well-diversified portfolio. Despite failing numerous empirical tests, I still remain popular due to its simplicity and utility in a variety of situations. Who am I? Presec.
Capital asset pricing model.
That's correct. My second riddle. I am a popular term in law that gained recognition through the Companies Act of 1844 in England. I was originally associated with early railway and canal projects, and I addressed the need to distinguish those handling logistics from business owners. St. Augustine.
Beneficiary ownership register.
I'll continue. Hey. Okay. So I was originally associated with early railway and canal projects, and I addressed the need to distinguish those handling logistics from business owners. I emerged Prempeh College.
The corporate view.
I emerged to describe individuals' responsibility for bringing companies into existence and helping with incorporation. In modern context, my term often involves coordinating financing, market preparation, and organizational setup. Though not necessarily part for a company's management, I am foundational in organizing the business's structure and launching it legally. Who am I? My third riddle. I am a concept popularized by economist Adam Smith in 18th century, especially in his Presec.
Relative scarcity.
No, I'll continue. I was developed to assess the well-being of a population, factoring in wealth, comfort, access to goods and services. My measure often relies on data like income, employment, Prempeh College. My measure often relies on data like income, employment, class equality, and access to health and education. During industrialization, my significance grew as societies aimed to quantify the impacts of economic growth on citizens. Today, I am widely used to compare economic prosperity across countries or regions, highlighting both material. You are no longer part. Oh, that's okay.
Standard of living.
That's correct. So the fourth riddle. I was introduced in financial context around the 1960s to describe a key metric for stock market performance. I was developed to avoid investors, and my measure reflects the portion of a company's shares available for public trading. Who am I?
Authorized share capital.
Capitalization index.
Yeah, Presec.
Equity.
Okay. So I think I'm missing a page. That's not it. Okay. So I think that would be the end of this riddle because I have only 4 questions here. And it's supposed to be 6. Riddle 1, riddle 2, riddle 3. So that'll be the end. One. That brings it. So we'll have one last riddle.
6 riddles.
Yeah. 4. 1. Man print here, man. Okay. So we have 2 more riddles and then the round will end. Clue 1. I am a term that originated from English common law during the 17th century. Clue 2. I am closely related to corporate governance and shareholder equity, ensuring fair treatment in ownership changes. Clue 3. I was developed to prevent dilution of shareholder interest. Presec.
Permission rights.
That's right. Now the last riddle. I gained popularity. I gained popularity in the late 19th century, particularly in European St. Augustine.
Value at risk.
So my second clue, I offer flexibility for businesses, helping to retain earnings while still compensating investors. My third clue, I emerge as a solution for companies short on cash, allowing them to reward shareholders. Presec.
Bankruptcy.
Oh, I saw it, but Presec, please go on, you first. Yeah.
Bankruptcy filing.
Yes.
Liquidation.
I'll continue with my 4th clue. And Prempeh, you have the chance to answer this correctly. I am frequently used during periods of economic uncertainty, as I help companies manage cash flows while acknowledging shareholders' loyalty. Today, I am an alternative to cash dividends, giving shareholders more stock rather than immediate cash returns. Okay, so that's the end of the last round. I'm going to deduct marks from a school that is still talking. So at the end of this contest, Prempeh College had 43 points. St. John's Grammar had 49 points, 49.8 points. St. Augustine's College had 50.9 points. Well done, guys. And Presbyterian boys, Presec, they had 59.9 points. Ladies and gentlemen, after a fierce battle between the schools, showing understanding, style, strategy, Presec emerged as the winner for this year 2024 contest of the National Investment Quiz 2024.
Hello. Thank you very much. Please, can we have some silence? Please, can we have some silence? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Great. Thanks for the cooperation. Moving on, we'll call on our honorable judges to join me up here on stage as we begin with the presentation of awards. Please, let's give it up for them. Also, please, can we have some silence? Also, can I have reps from Wesley Girls Senior High School to join me up here on stage? Please, kindly join me here up on stage. So this certificate is a certificate of achievement to satisfy that Wesley Girls Senior High School made it to the semi-finals. So for their remarkable performance in qualifying for the semi-finals of the 2024 National Investment Quiz Competition, we present this to them for their dedication. And doing us the honors is Miss Grace. Thank you very much. Our honorable judges, please, you can still be here with us for the presentation of the awards. Next on the list is Infantsipim School. Can we have reps from Infantsipim School? Can we have the reps from Infantsipim School? Doing us the honors for this presentation would be Mr. Paul from Republic Trust Investments. So this certificate of achievement is to certify that Infantsipim School made it to the semi-finals of the 2024 National Investment Quiz Competition. Thank you very much, sir. So, the next is Our Lady of Mercy Senior High School. Can we have reps from Our Lady of Mercy Senior High School? Doing us the honors is our rep from First Finance Company Limited. Also, this certificate is certified that Our Lady of Mercy Senior High School made it to the semi-finals of the 2024 National Investment Quiz Competition. And for their remarkable performance, we present this award. So the next on my list is Accra Girls SHS. Can we have reps from Accra Girls SHS join me here up on stage? Please, let's give it up for them. Please, let's give it up for them as they join me here on stage. Doing us the honors for this presentation is Miss Grace. So again, this is to certify that Accra Girls SHS made it to the semi-finals of this year's National Investment Quiz Competition.
So this award is to certify that St. Augustine's College, for your remarkable performance in qualifying for the semi-finals of the 2024 National Investment Quiz Competition. Your dedication and excellence in financial literacy are truly inspiring. Congratulations. So to present this award, I would like to call Mr. Dakwa to join us on stage. So the next certificate is to Prempeh College for your remarkable performance in qualifying for the semi-finals of the 2024 National Investments Quiz Competition. The next certificate is to St. John's Grammar Senior High School. Silence, please. Silence. For your remarkable performance, could you please be silent? Thank you. For your remarkable performance in qualifying for the semi-finals of the 2024 National Investments Quiz Competition. Your dedication and excellence in financial literacy are truly inspiring. Congratulations. Silence, please. Okay. So the next is to Presbyterian Boys Senior High School. For your remarkable performance, silence, please. For your remarkable performance in qualifying for the semi-finals of the 2024 National Investments Quiz Competition. Your dedication and excellence in financial literacy are truly inspiring. Congratulations. Please join me on stage. So this certificate is for the best investment advisors for delivering the best investment advisory session at the National Investment Quiz Competition. Your exceptional insights and strategic expertise have set a high standard in financial literacy and advisory excellence. And this award is presented to Wesley Girls Senior High School. Please join me on stage. clap for them as they join me.
Jerry Tokesin, Musa from CSD, and the woman, Abna Brigidi. We call them Abna Brigidi.
Abna.
Yes. So this for
No, this is a mistake.
That's still waiting for you. So let's start.
Thank you so much. So at this point, would like to present the medals to our finalists. And to help me do this, I would like to welcome Mr. Jerry from the Stock Exchange, Mr. Musa from CSD, and Mrs. Abna. Please clap for them as they join me. So I would like the Presec students to join me. All Presec students. A minute, please. Kindly hold on. So sorry. So you all join me, but not now. For now, I need a contestant. Thank you.
Yes, it's done. We're going to one after the other. Give them one to one. Richard.
So now the fellow students can join us, so we present the trophy. The Presec students, please you can join me now. The participants. So please, the St. Augustine's participants, please you can come for your. Please join me on stage, the participants. Also, we'd like to present that, St. Augustine's, please don't leave. We'd like to present the check to St. Augustine's Senior High School now. So please, the teachers and the students can join us. Okay, so as the first runner-up, St. Augustine's, a moment of silence, please. Thank you so much. So please, as imagine as the first runner-up, St. Augustine Senior High School will be awarded an amount of 10,000 Ghana cedis. Oh, okay, sure. Thank you so much. So the amount is 10,000 Ghana cedis. For a second, please. So now the checks are ready. We're supposed to proceed with Presec, but now that the checks are ready, I'd like to call the other schools. So St. John's Grammar, your participants and teachers can join me on stage. Thank you so much. So Prempeh College can join me now. And thank you. So now we move to the winners of the 2024 National Investments Quiz. And I would like to join the Presec students. I would like to ask them to join me on stage. Kindly be fast for me.
TV, sports, entertainment, and more.